Hey guys, so I want to share Cupid's story with you. Cupid, aka Lion of Wall Street, is my 7-year-old chestnut off the track thoroughbred gelding that I got this past winter right from Ohio, right off the racetrack. I actually saw him on a Facebook photo ad for sale and thought he was super adorable and just had to drive down to Ohio to get him. So that's how I ended up with Cupid, and when we brought him home we could see he was really underweight. We knew he was full of worms. There was no need for a fecal. You could see the worms in his poo. It was actually kind of gross. So we treated him for worms, and we also saw that he had extra teeth sticking out of his mouth, like just all over the place. A few extra teeth, both top and bottom. The equine dentist said that she had never seen anything like it before, and we couldn't pull the teeth because the roots were so intertwined that we basically just had to file them down and get them smooth. And that was really important we did because he had ulcers all over his mouth. So he had a few things that needed to be done, plus we pulled the shoes off of his feet, and when we did that, his soles weren't very hard and he needed to wear boots. So the type of boots that we used are the Cavallo boots. They're great because we wanted to be able to pull the shoes and get his feet stronger, let them grow out because they were really small and his heels were a bit contracted. But this let him ride on the gravel and do the trail riding because otherwise he would have just been really ouchy. And then to help put the weight back on him and to get rid of the ulcers and everything else he had, we put him on the Equine Choice prebiotics. So we started off on the tube and then switched him over to the powder. And then we also gave him the Acid FX, and we used that before trailering, anything stressful or rides, just to help get his health back in check. And you can see that he really put on a lot of weight, and it definitely worked for him.
This is a picture of Cupid when I first got him. He's pretty underweight here, and this was midsummer. And then this last photo here is towards the end of the summer, and you can see he put on a lot of weight and a lot of muscle. Now this is a pretty funny clip from when I did his first session, and he was really scared of even just me rubbing him with the stick. Not a lot of confidence there, not really sure what I was going to do. You can see he's just really jumpy all over the place, just very all over the place. And then fast forward to today, this is one of the shows that we did in September at Glenora. It was a schooling obstacle show, and you can see we can ride with the flag, and he has no problems with me keeping that up, riding around and placing it back in the hay bale. This is another clip just showing you when I first got him, teaching him to come to me. He didn't really care too much about people. He's sort of reluctant there to come in, not scared of me, but just doesn't see why he should bother coming over to me. Just sort of pulling back on the rope a little bit, and even when he gets to me, he sort of looks at me, looks away. He's really more concerned with what else is going on. Fast forward to, this was actually taken earlier today, this video, and you can just see that I can get him go out, and all I do is run backwards, and he comes on and canters into me, and he's really looking to come into me. And so I love playing the games with him because he's really developed a lot of connection to me. And you can see here, he just stays glued to me, just jumping with me back and forth, and not even caring at all about looking out to the other horses. He's just fully focused on what Mom's doing. So this is just a clip back from when I first got him, trying to teach him how to do the circle game. So I'm actually trying to get him to go out on the circle. So I'm trying to pull the rope a little bit to the side to help him understand he's supposed to go to the side, and then using the stick with rhythm to try to show him he's supposed to get away from that and go on a circle. And there I stopped because he did a little bit of relief. And then now, of course, he can go out and come back in with no problems at all. So he's come a long way in that regard. So here is a funny clip from when he was first learning how to both do circles and go over poles. So here I'm sort of just getting him to go out on the circle, or attempting to get him to go out on the circle. And you can see he's really not got much of a clue at all that I'm trying to tell him to go. He's really bracing, really reluctant. And then here we're progressing. He's moving along, and now I'm trying to introduce the pole, this scary pole on the ground that he does not want to go over. And this actually took 15 minutes to teach him to go over. Don't worry, I'm not going to play all 15 minutes for you now, but He would go up to it, he would scramble, he would get really close. He could not believe that I actually wanted him to cross from one side to the other over a pole. And this is how I started everything. I'm going with the groundwork, trying to do little puzzles for my horses. And every little puzzle they solved was almost like a little cha-ching, little bit of brownie points for me, a little bit more connection with my horse. So we started with all this stuff on the ground, and you can see he's just got no clue that he could actually cross this pole. So we're just going to fast forward to the end of the 15 minutes where he actually is going to go over the pole in a second. And so we just did a lot of approaching, letting him sort of sniff and explore, and then retreating and just asking him to try again. It's a little bit of mix of that. And then you'll see he finally goes over the pole, but it's not exactly graceful. It's kind of like a, oh no, what do I do with my feet? And then he finally goes over. So then we can sort of fast forward to where he is now. And this is a horse show he did in July, one of the NHA obstacle shows, and there, no rope, no stick or anything, and just up and over, no problem. And then here's another clip, fast forwarding to our show we did in September at Turkey Run. It was a gambler's choice obstacle course, and you can see just up over those poles, no problem, over the different tarps and obstacles. This one's a little bit of a ditch with the tarp, and going up and over the hay bales with no hesitation whatsoever. You definitely have progressed in both being way more confident and way more agile with what he was able to do, for sure, being able to stay focused on his job and get going. And at this particular show, he ended up getting 5th out of about 20 people, which I was super proud of him for. And here you can see he's going through the water, and this pool noodle obstacle here actually had hoses that were spraying us as well. And you can see he's just listening to me, he's just calm, he's confident, he just is taking me exactly where I wanted to go and approaching all the obstacles really, really nicely, which made me really happy. And here he had to pick the ball out of the seed bin there and then up over the logs, and he's just really willing and trying, and definitely come full circle. Here he had to slow down and get really precise, and he's got no problem picking that ball. This is one of the bridges that they had at the show as well, and again, just up and over, no hesitation. And here he's coming into the tire obstacle, which actually surprised me that he was so excellent at this. I thought he might balk it a little bit, but he was really, really good. You can see he just goes up and over.
What a great run, Cupid.
And then, of course, his height comes in handy here as I have to place the boots onto the cactus. So you can see from day one when I was working with him and he was scared of, using the stick, and then now he's able to ride with me and deal with these different things that I'm putting up all over the place. And from not crossing a pole to now being able to do various different types of jumps, he's just doing amazing.
So thank you for watching Cupid's story. Wish us luck in Kentucky. I got him for the Thoroughbred Makeover, the retired racehorse project. So in a couple weeks, we're going to be heading down to Kentucky to the horse park and competing in the Thoroughbred Makeover. So wish us luck.